in their quest for peace throughout the world. We ask you also to remain close to all our men and women in uniform throughout the world who defend our freedoms at home. We ask you to forgive us for taking these freedoms for granted. We thank you for keeping all our first responders safe as they perform their duties to ensure our safety, health, and well-being every day. We also take that for granted, and for that we ask forgiveness. Remain close to their families until their safe return home. As we do your work, may we remember that today is unique. It has never occurred before, and it will never be repeated. At midnight, it will end quietly, suddenly, totally, and forever. But the hours between now and then are opportunities with eternal possibilities through your grace. For as it is written in your word in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10, we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. It is in your holy name we pray and give thanks. Amen.
Amen.
I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:03 p.m. for the Archer Community Commission. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Ms. Altop.
No, sir.
I'll entertain a motion for the adoption of the agenda before us this evening.
So moved. Second moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner White, second from Vice Mayor Bailey. Any discussions? Comments from the dais? Any discussion or comments from the constituencies in the audience this evening? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor of the adoption of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Nays, like sign. Hearing none, motion carries. First order of business is public comment. Would anyone like to come forward with public comments? Please limit your conversations and comments to 3 minutes or less. Thank you. Good evening, Ms. Costello.
Good evening. Lori Costello, citizen. Questions? The bills say cable, and I was wondering what kind of cable do we have? The work order states 168th Avenue. I just would like to know where 168th Avenue is at. Surplus property, normally Public Works bring that at the beginning of the year. And I know I've been in contact with Deanna several times, and we're looking for money, and we have a lot of surplus property over at Public Works, and they haven't brought that forward. And I wanted to know why. I also wanted to know why on the time cards that we're still approving overtime. For example, they'll clock in at 6:53 and out at 6:04, and every day they get a quarter of an hour overtime. Work starts at 7, and this has been ongoing for a while. That's we're broke, and for this to be happening is just crazy. Glass has been on 143rd Avenue in the sidewalk for over 3 weeks. I did a work order over a month ago for my neighborhood, and it has not been done yet. I have probably 8 work orders, and not one of them has been completed.
You have less than 1 minute. Wrap it up if
Okay,
you can, Ms.
thank you.
Costello. Yes, ma'am.
In January, February, Public Works did a meter report. I asked for it that night, and I also asked if we ever did anything to the meter report that was done last year. I've been in touch again with Deanna. never got the report, never got an answer. Okay, I like to know why we have 4 people on call all the time. That seems way overstaffed. We might need to look at that. I just don't think that we're doing, our time as best as we could with our employees.
Thank you, Ms. Costello.
All
Your
right,
time is up.
thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
where is the glass located? I'll go pick it up.
The whole sidewalk needs,
143rd Avenue, there's glass along the sidewalk.
and needs to be cut back.
Thank you for checking that, Commissioner White. Yes, sir. Good morning, good afternoon.
I didn't want to cut you
Arnold.
off.
But
Okay. All right, unfortunately, I've got some stuff I need to do today, so I'm gonna have to leave early. I'll leave right after this. I apologize.
We're sorry for that.
I always enjoy staying for the entire show, so to speak. Let's start with some good stuff. Last week, we had all the mayors in the surrounding cities here in Archer. Mayor. The mayor was there, did a nice job with the food. I know it was donated. The vice mayor was there, and Commissioner Penny was there. And it was very nice to see other mayors discuss a variety of things, but they actually have problems in their towns too. So that was, I think Alachua has a lot going on. But it was unfortunately not, and I don't know how that's publicized, but only myself and Queen Lizzie were there. Had a lot of tables set up, but no one else in Archer showed up. So it was not very well attended, but I don't know if they normally are. This Wednesday, the town hall meeting, looks like you've got some really interesting guests. So I'm looking forward to that and what the grant people and some of the other folks have to say. All right, when is the financial meeting? Is it the first one or the second one of the month? It's this one. Okay. The agenda on the first meeting was light. I wasn't feeling well that day. This one is even lighter. So I don't know, when does the new, the fiscal year start? Is it September or October?
October 1st.
October. So we are in a past 6 months. With that said, we need to have a profit and loss. We need a balance sheet. We need to know how much money we have. Is Amanda working? If she is, what's the status of the bank reconciliation? There's no city manager report on, I guess there was last month, or last week, or last meeting, I should say, but it's not in writing, so I don't know what was done, what Public Works is doing. The thickets status, love to hear something on that. I know y'all were gonna do that gratis, thank you, but where are we at? What are we doing? The meter reader. You're buying one for a couple grand. Is it because we lost the last one, it broke, we just need another one? I think that's it.
Your time is almost up, Mr. Arnold. Thank you.
Okay. Love to
Thank-
hear the responses.
Thank you for the
and
feedback. Yes, sir.
I'll get out of your hair. Thank you very much.
You're not in our hair. Thank you for participating. Anyone else? Good evening, Mr. Lewandowski.
Good evening. So a couple of things. One is I'd like to second Mr. Arnold's comments about the status of the finances. It was supposed to be done at the last meeting of the month, and I didn't see it on the agenda for the last meeting either. The other thing is I'm hoping that we'll have a lot of information on the grant at the community meeting. I presume that's going to happen. And I hope that there'll be some discussions on how the grant is going to be monitored, and so we don't have any issues with it. So I'll be looking forward to hearing that at the meeting Wednesday. I also would like to find out the status of the rewrite for the land use ordinances. As I recall, that was supposed to start this month. I didn't see it on the agenda for last meeting, and it's not on the agenda for this meeting.
Mr. Scott Coons, the Executive Director of North Central Florida Regional Planning Council, will be one of our guests on Wednesday's town
He
hall
will be.
meeting. And will present the outline. Yes, sir.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes, sir.
The last thing is that I have reviewed the charter rewrite with the 2 city attorneys, and it's good to go. I don't know if Kristen or Danielle is going to send that to you. I guess, are you going to send that to them?
Yes.
Okay, so it's good to go. I've reviewed it in terms of all the corrections that were, and suggested revisions that were made to it, so it's ready for you to take a look at. I presume you're going to have a city workshop on that, so you can go over it. I'll be happy to present as a representative of the commission, of the rewrite committee rather, to let you know what our thoughts on and why we made the suggestions we did. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, very much. Anyone else?
Mayor, when did the questions get answered? I threw a bunch out there. Is that,
Within 30 days.
oh, they don't get answered right now, just on the status?
I don't have any answers for you this evening.
Can you ask Deanna?
Excuse me?
Can you ask Deanna?
I can defer to Deanna if you want to answer him, or do you want to review and
No,
answer?
because of the email I sent all of you, we can talk about an hour later with the whole Doge.
The Doge State of
I
Florida
don't have time, none of us
mandates.
have time for anything at the moment.
And for
We
you
are
that don't
under
know that, we have a
extreme
whole
deadline.
packet of Doge State of Florida mandated information from every municipality to be reported by May 9th.
Okay, I had no idea, so that, maybe that.
That's happened in the last 7 business days, yes, sir.
Okay.
With a mandate due May 9th. So it's that bear. It's that bear out there, and he's reappeared in another form called State of Florida Doge.
Well,
This
that's
time,
good to
so.
know that there's a reason that we don't have that information, and that certainly is a priority.
And Ms. Altop will be at our, I presume Wednesday. You will not be there. I will speak to that, so if there's any questions about our status on current work.
All right, thank you very
But
much.
they're certainly duly noted. Yes, ma'am, Commissioner White?
We also get with Amanda and see just where we are on
I know the answer to that. She started May.
the reconciliation.
Mr. Dallas Lee will be at also at our town hall meeting on Wednesday, reporting up financial status and plan of action. I'm sure there will be questions for him that he may or may not be able to answer, but he certainly can take it home as we try to move fast forward. Anyone else?
Profit and loss is, we do need to be getting all
We
these.
need to have our reconciliations done, and as of the last 15 days, we only had one more month done in bank statement reconciliations, which I am totally alarmed about. Anyone else? Thank you very much. New old business,
It was public comment.
Public comments, I'm sorry, I apologize, I do want to make something there.
go ahead, come forward, Mr. Moses.
Yes.
Have 3 minutes or less, please.
Commissioners, I just want to let the commission know that, of course, that the Mother's Day weekend coming up on May 9th, May 10th is the Cultural Arts Festival, and I just want to note that for the city. And of course, like we just saying, make note that we would like, make sure that the bathrooms and the field is taken care of, and some additional garbage cans if possible. Last year, actually, y'all provided some chairs for us. Is that possible from the city?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what kind of chairs and how
I
many
think
was
y'all
it?
got some extra ones at the community center, but they did bring down some last year.
You don't remember how many?
I think it was about 20 or 30 of them that they brought.
Is it in the application asking for 20 or 30 chairs?
No, I'm just.
You need to review and revise your application and submit it to the city manager, please.
Well, no problem.
Yes, sir.
We do know that, and I just request that the center part be open. That you guys do have some chairs in that particular area as well that we could utilize, that we have in the past.
Just come back up tomorrow when they're open and put.
Revise your
add that in later.
application.
Okay, no problem.
And while I have you, if you will, would you also have a clarification on what your fee payment is? Do you know what it is
Well,
for the event?
you guys already voted on that and waived that fee for that event.
Which one are you talking about?
Well,
The ACPO Mother's Day event?
Yeah, we waived it.
You waived the fee.
We waived it, yeah, because there was nothing, they
Exactly.
Okay.
weren't asking for anything.
No, yeah, but, we are actually, we're having an event on that Friday, but the ACPO, we paid that fee for the building already.
You paid the fee for the building,
Yes,
For that Friday.
for that Friday.
and that has not been waived. Everyone's clear on that?
Oh, yeah, it's already.
Okay.
It's already paid. That's a done deal. Check, cash and everything by the city, so,
For that fee event?
yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying the chair request.
Don't forget to go by.
No problem.
Good evening, Ms. Lopez. Yes, ma'am. Keep your comments to 3 minutes, please.
I requested the ACPO application because I was very confused. There's a receipt in the back that says $300 for the event. But then inside this application, which is not really filled out correctly, it says fee waiver. So I'm just a little bit confused, Deanna. Did you get, you got this information from me?
And then we got the Doge email, so literally that's all we've been doing.
Right. So I'm very confused as to what he's paying for, because I know he's gonna be there from 6 to 9. I don't know what night that is. So is that the $300 that he's paying for those 3 hours? or
Yes,
4
ma'am.
hours? That is it?
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted
That's why I just asked the president of the organization about that, and he's clear that
Well,
that
I'm trying to
$300
get
is
it
towards a
clear in my
payment.
mind because it's confusing. I have the
Yeah,
application.
yes, ma'am, it's clear.
So the only thing I wanted to know is whether or not he was paying for that, or if it was waived or what, because if you look at the receipt on the back,
Mr. Moses, could you step forward and just clarify this once and for all, please?
How about that $300 fee for the building, which I intentionally, and I meant to pay it because we know the city.
Yes, sir.
What the situation is.
Thank you.
You have already paid the $300 fee for the building for that.
That's not a refundable deposit, that's the fee for it.
I got the receipt of the check
That's-
that's been cashed by the
Thank you.
city, so there's no confusion between.
Hello.
The city, thank you, Mr. Moses. Thank you, Ms. Lopez.
It's con-
Come
it's
down
con- it's con-
and enjoy yourself and have
It's-
a wonderful day.
Thank you, Mr. Moses.
It's confusion on the application, that's all.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm
And
just trying, and I have a right to get this.
yes,
clear.
ma'am, and he's requested
as long
additional
as-
chairs,
as
and so
long
he's
as we
coming in to
know that
revise the application. I'm speaking,
the way-
please, thank you.
The way this is written, sir, it's written like, you know,
It's a
he'll get
refundable
he'll get his
deposit. Yes,
deposit
ma'am.
back.
Thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. Anyone else? Moving along, old business, agenda 1, speed bumps.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to go by?
Yeah, I did, I went riding, bumping,
Thank you, Commissioner White. If you could update us, please.
I will do this just.
And thank you for taking on that assignment.
Calvin and I drove all over Archer, and you have a copy of the ones that we found. There was one over on Depot, I don't know what it's Depot is all over, that was already, half of it was hanging by the one bolt on the corner, and that's when they had swung it around. Calvin called John and had him immediately come and take those up because of the danger. Then we found these others that were, either had a bolt coming up or looked like they were fixing to
Come up.
come up. And the concern is, what's that doing to our tires? Tires. So, and one of them's on your street that needs to come up. And so that's where we're at.
The only request I had, the ones on Southwest 170th, if they're coming up, they need to go back down. I have semi-trucks going 50 miles an hour without speed bumps on Southwest
We
170th
only
Street.
found one in Holly Hills. One speed bump. Huh?
Yeah, I see it, North 170th.
I don't know. It was
North,
back-
that must be on Holly Hillside, the
Yeah.
Northwest 170th Street.
That's what I'm saying.
It's down,
Commissioner Hope, we'll need that one to go back down too, if they can.
You mean the boat was up in that one?
yeah, it was a bad, there's one, it's the last road to the left. You know where I'm talking about?
I do.
Is that, that's at 170th?
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, that's where it's at. And, but it is too, there's like 3 of them down that road.
On 170th. I know there's 2.
I thought there was just 2 also, but there might be a third
I'm
one.
not sure.
Oh, you mean once you cross 24, that's the one by Commissioner Hope?
No,
That's what
no,
you're
I'm
counting
talking
too?
about- no,
Are you
I'm
talking
talking
3 in Holly Hills on 170? Okay.
I think there's 3 down that little road where the one bad one is, and that's what we said, even if we took it up, there's still 2 there.
I'm trying to.
That, we were trying to, yeah,
Yeah, I thank you for finding out the life of those speed bumps are 3 years too. That's in the packet.
I didn't do that, I don't know who,
That's on,
thank you.
and I thank you for doing that because, you know, what is the life if it's, you know, if it's light traffic, but right now, you can take a camera and watch, but we have,
It's gonna get worse.
on my day off, at least 75 trucks on Southwest 170th Street, traversing back and forth. And then at night, between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., there's at least 10 to 15 semi-trucks. Why they're diverting and going that way, the only thing I can determine, and again, this is maybe a DOT question, I don't know. And I don't want to divert out of the conversation. Why, in the past, we've assessed that street, the 241 alternate county road, state alternative 241, and it's got a maximum weight of 25,000 pounds. And we certainly have more than that traversing on that. So it's wearing out the street altogether, big picture. But that's why it's not because they're my speed bumps or whatever. I just know that we have the safe way to school sidewalk along there. And they do, our community does use that sidewalk, and we don't need to have traffic. And I think that's the same situation with Holly Hills and the beauty of having a sidewalk. We don't need traffic flying in there at 45, 50 miles an hour and not slowing down, so.
And Calvin and I did discuss it. I mean, Holly Hills is a small community. I mean, it's just, it's clustered right there and it's small. So I can understand that. I can understand the one at the, park. The rest of them, I'm just saying, you got 5 on one street. 5 on one street. That's ridiculous. And I'm all for it, people putting 1 on the street, but when you go to putting 3, 4, 2 in 2 blocks. Right. That's ridiculous.
So, I'm sorry, could you just summarize so that we can get it to a motion? Which ones have you determined in your findings that need to be pulled up
The
and not
ones that
replaced?
you have a copy of. where the
That are in your
bumps are coming
report.
out
Do I
now.
have a motion to that effect?
I have a question though.
Do we need to make a motion
before we
before?
can have
Oh,
further
okay,
discussion?
okay.
Yes, please.
So moved.
I have a motion from
I
Vice Mayor
second.
Bailey and a second from Commissioner Green to consider the proposal to pull up those that are
And not-
There
reported.
is one more that's not on here also, I need to tell you. I didn't even think about it as much as I wanted to have them taken up on my street. And Calvin will tell you, I told him, I can't in all good consciousness say that the ones on my street are bad. So, but then I got an email from Miss Costello about, y'all, I think got the same one, or may have, about the one down at Young's having a 25-mile-an-hour zone on it. And I said, oh, that's wonderful. You can't put that 25 mile per hour is because it is a neighborhood, and neighborhoods are usually, and Kirsten can verify this, neighborhoods are usually 30 mile an hour, and if you have it lower, it has to have the speed limit there. So, the speed limit has to stay there. We either move the speed bump, or we violate the law. But it does look like it's 25 mile an hour going over that speed bump.
Mr. Mayor,
So take it up.
Yes, ma'am.
um,
Commissioner Green.
maybe some of the ones that maybe Commissioner White is talking about, maybe they don't have the problem, maybe that's something for the citizens to consider if they don't have the problem with people speeding. But in Holly Hills, we have that problem. Also, there's the elementary school bus does not run there anymore. So if you have kids walking and a lot of the school traffic comes and probably straight across, 24, in the morning as well. A lot of the school traffic, people coming up for 241 and so forth, taking kids to school. We have quite a bit of traffic in the mornings as well. A lot of people use that road. And we still do, believe it or not, a lot of times there's speed in between those, in between those speed bumps. So if the one on 107 is to be taken up, I'm asking for another one to be put down or somehow another voted back down. We need those. We used to be like a retirement community, but we have more kids moving in now. And, I like to say that's a retirement community, but we have new families moving in. And so we're getting more kids in the neighborhood and riding their bikes. We need the speed bumps over in Holly Hills. So I wouldn't suggest taking any of those up permanently.
And if that's the one I'm thinking about, Galvin seemed to think that he might be able to bolt that back down.
Okay.
That's north 170. The one on 170th that's coming up because of it being modified, Calvin said could not be fixed. Is he on there? Yeah, and make sure I'm right, because I'm sure he said if it had been modified, it couldn't be put back down.
And if we're still in discussion, those on the southwest 170th, if they're worn out because of the documentation that 3 years max on heavy industrial usage or whatever that's in the report, I, like Commissioner Green, would like those brought back to us at the next meeting with a proposal price. Certainly having our Public Works Director look at alternative ones that might have a longer life or not be as abrasive and going over them. I don't want to spend undue money, but at least replacing those that are completely worn out in those areas. The others that Commissioner White has brought forward that need to be removed and not put back down, as long as the patch repair is properly done on the street, we're good. We just don't need the street being eroded because holes are left in the street. And this is micromanaging something that our Public Works Director should do automatically. And I hope that message is sent to him clear. That just pulling them up and leaving holes in the whatever is not acceptable. They need to be properly patched or whatever so the road maintains its integrity, the street.
Does the motion include the one on 137th?
If that's in your,
It's not. So I don't like the motion. I made it so we can discuss.
You can amend it.
I don't like the motion. Yeah, because at the bottom it says to remove and not to be replaced. Commissioner Green definitely wants hers replaced. I don't have a problem with not replacing them. However, I think the best course of action would have been for us to receive these, to find out what the problems are with them, to find out if there are other places we should put these before even going ahead with anything else. That's what we said at the last meeting, because, well, at this stage, we can remove the ones that definitely are bad and are not replaceable. But if we are needing,
if we're going to spend more money on replacement,
exactly,
that needs to be brought back to us with
put
that.
them, yes, and I think that is
In
what
my
we
discussion,
need to.
that's what I'm asking for those to be done.
Okay.
The ones that have been brought forward for being worn out and need to be replaced. I'm not saying spend that money tonight, I just like it brought back to us and what the expense would be, just like we do anything else that's broken and needs to be replaced.
All right.
If that,
Can you tell me the streets one more time that you want them? us to
North
get?
170th Street, anything in this report that's saying that those are worn or need to be removed, those would be replaced in the Southwest 170th, which are the two.
So 170.
Also, I'm sorry.
Targeting 170th.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, as well. The east end of 127th Avenue,
Is that the one that I'm talking about?
down, that one should be closer, maybe about a top lot or something by the
Yeah.
playground area.
So that's
Yeah,
There's like 5 speed bumps down through there.
it's three on that
So the
street.
tot lot drove that one because
Uh-huh.
of speeding.
But this one had This one was been in between, two more, so it's not like we're taking up one where there's not any.
Well, there is, Commissioner White, I can tell you, I live on that street. 3 are needed. If I can get a 4th one, if we were able, yes, ma'am, because you have your children going to that top lot right there. Those kids ride their bicycles and everything up and down that street. And for some reason, folks like to make that circle and speed, if they can get in the speed. Like last night, one was speeding right by my house on that corner, and they'll slow up at the speed bump, but as soon as they get over that speed bump, yeah, they zoom.
That's what was driving that.
Yeah,
And I'm good with it anywhere where there's kids.
yeah, we have a lot of kids
Sarah
back and
Brandon
forth to the
came
playground
brought
and the
that to our
basketball
attention
court.
Several meetings about the seriousness of that, and we
I
certainly
thought there
don't.
was more than 3 on that street.
There's 3 on that one, because that's my, and then we have one guy that's building the home down past where I live, and he tends to speed by. And, as soon as I can catch his attention.
So Vice Mayor, since you didn't like the motion, can you amend your
Well,
motion?
now it sounds like it's another one. So, which ones need to be repaired if possible? Is it the north 170th and the east 127th? Is it both of those?
Those are the ones that, they,
7th is the one that we looked at that was the worst.
yeah.
Whatever consideration for the
It was
south.
the-
So that needs
West.
to be swapped out.
Okay. Because and I know what you all are talking about though, because I started paying attention to some of the bumps and you can see the boats coming up. So if some way we can replace them or have them repaired or something, I don't know if they can repair them.
So much money on fixing vehicles. 3 times we've had, 3 times.
Well, I'd rather just leave them there with the boat till we can afford to put more. Because the boats are not right in the middle, they're on the
That,
edge.
the one nearest Holly Hills on 170th, on the road that Fletcher's on. You can see where the corner of it is flopping up, and it's getting bad. I don't know that it can be repaired, but, and north 170th, I don't remember.
Okay, so that's my problem. My problem is
Calvin, May.
is Calvin online, or we don't know?
He is, yeah, he responded to, we do have those, remember the first speed bumps were like you're going in the parking lot? We still do have some of those, but he said that really, nobody liked them. We have a few of those.
Those were never on my street.
I think so, it's whatever the
Yeah,
original
they do.
ones were, I remember those.
Okay,
They don't speed over those.
so, those are the high ones.
My question is, when you and Calvin and we're going through the neighborhoods, looking at, did y'all talk to the people in the neighborhood? Do they want the speed bump? Do they do not?
We did it in probably 10 o'clock in the morning. There wasn't anybody out and about.
Okay.
You were just
Because
assessing.
I just want to know how the people in that neighborhood, because where some people may think it's the worst thing,
Some don't.
yeah, but then you have the people who really want it, because I done talked to a couple of people, they were like, they want the speed bumps because they don't want the people flying in front of their house.
And that's what I said. If there were kids out and about like there is,
I don't know if they have kids in their neighborhood,
You
but they were
assess the
telling
safety
me
ones that are.
that they want the speed bumps. So I think we need to talk to the people in the community before
but I'm also
we do
looking
that.
at the one at Young's. You go over it. And then you race to see how fast you can get to the stop sign. And then you race to see how fast you can get to the
Okay.
next one. And then
So-
it's a stop sign.
So I think,
Vice Mayor, do you want to restate your motion?
Yes, I think the first order of business would be to, is repair the speed bumps, humps, whatever they are, in Holly Hills that could be, repaired or replaced.
And bring that
then these-
replacement cost back to us for.
Yes,
review.
and then the other speed humps that are bad or have the bolts coming up
Remove
that
those.
we have on this list
Remove
yeah,
those.
it is.
Remove those
to remove
and repair the street
those,
back.
repair the street. Yes, and then assess the city to see where we need,
And that-
if and where we need those.
And there's loose bolts on this side of 170, certainly bring that back for replacement if they can't be
And that's-
repaired.
Calvin may be able to go down, and you can ask him, Calvin may be able to go down through there and look at them closely. We were in the truck, and we stopped, what we
Okay.
saw was what was visible in the
Right.
truck.
And if it's
and-
visible in the truck, that,
Exactly.
yeah,
And
that's
now,
scary.
So
Can we
it-
go back through and look at them closely and see, do they need, can he fix them? Or can we just
Okay.
replace them? You know?
So in that motion, would you accept bringing it back to us with Calvin's further
Yes.
review and then with a cost outlay?
Yes,
what
I
he
will.
determined.
Yes, I will.
Because again, I'm sorry to be Mr. Cha-ching, but I want to know what it's going to cost at this
That's
point.
fine, I thought we said that. And who seconded? I will amend it to that.
If we have them on
Can you
hand,
second that way
use
it
what we
brings the
got.
forefront of
Because if
the
it's to
critical
slow
issue.
down traffic, those will slow down traffic.
But one thing we need to do, and that's remove the one by Commissioner White's house.
No.
And I think in respect to what the citizen said, I mean, this is just to bring back with us also, nobody says that 25 mile per hour sign has to remain. So if there's a speed bump.
It
and-
does
and-
have to remain.
Who says? We
The
were,
attorney says we have to have a speed limit sign on that road.
right,
because-
but if you remember several years back, we tried to get all the 30 mile an hour ones and reduce below 25, and this might be a Hammond just story, but we could not lower it lower than 25 miles per hour.
But the
I
law-
disagree with
My
that.
understanding is the law says in a residential area is 30 miles an hour.
Usually.
However, if you drop that 30 miles, you have to make a sign visible stating it's lower than 30.
Right, and if you go
There's-
in the neighborhood next to North Florida Regional Med Center, they have speed humps that are a lot more user-friendly as far as driving, but they warn you that there's one coming up. They also then have the speed sign that's less than 15 miles per hour. So I'm not trying to bring all that back, I'm just saying we have an opportunity here to assess that and get this traffic flowing situation at 20, because no street in the inner city of Archer, people should be going 25 miles an hour, I'm sorry. Punch it at 25 and see how fast you're gonna go from Church Street one end to the other without risking
I can't.
your, so.
There's 2 speed bumps.
And that
You
was
got
the,
to go stop.
that's all I'm saying was the purpose, so if we could consider that and see what it would take, and even if it's another month for that to be brought back after the Doge stuff.
Are you asking about lowering the speed limit?
Just removing that 25 mile an hour sign, that's where the speed bump is, that's ridiculous, because if you hit that at 25, you're gonna
Can we
bottom
just,
out.
we can move it somewhere else on the street? Okay, yeah.
Where you gonna
I
move
thought you were asking about lowering the speed limit, because we already went through that. We have to do a whole study and all that costs a lot of money. That's all I was asking
But
for
if you have a warning
clarification.
sign, I think you can lower it.
So, do we need to hear-
Certainly in neighborhoods in Gainesville, maybe it's just because that's a Gainesville statute, but
Is your question, I think we're asking a couple of questions, so I want to clarify. If we're saying, can we move the speed limit sign from where it's located right next to a speed bump to somewhere where it's not right next to a speed bump? Absolutely.
that's what I'm talking about.
We can
doing,
definitely do that.
Because that's
That's
ridiculous.
it? That's the only question? Okay, then nothing
That
further.
was what I was saying, remove it, the 25, because it's so near a speed bump, it's ridiculous. You're enhancing somebody to bottom out and tear the bottom of the car out, if they want to adhere to the. And then further is just to see where we have streets with 3 speed bumps. What do we require to get that speed limit to where the officer could charge somebody for going above a certain speed limit? Because neighborhoods in Gainesville have that. Yes, sir, Mr. We have a motion and a second. Let's finish up the discussion up here, and you certainly are recognized, sir. Any other discussion up here? Are we okay with the plan?
I'm not okay, sorry.
I have one more question.
Yeah, I don't I'm still back on the speed limit for the speed bumps, excuse me. I'm not sure what you're asking. Say it one more time, please.
I'd like Calvin to find out how low can you go on a speed limit sign legally with streets with speed bumps?
With speed.
Does it require, and again, this is a,
That's the whole
this is a
Are
cost
you
outlay.
talking about the signs that you sometimes see which say speed bump,
speed
go 5 miles an hour
Yeah.
over the speed bump.
warning.
Okay. So that's different than a speed limit sign. That's not changing the speed limit on the road.
Those are the signs that I'm talking about and a cost
So if we
outlay.
can look into
Just a cost
getting a
outlay,
speed
yeah.
bump sign with a different,
Because I believe the officer could then charge somebody if they're not adhering to that warning. I'm not an officer, but it gives the ASO then the ability.
I'm not sure if the ASO has the authority if they go over the speed bump at a higher rate of speed than is indicated. I think that is more to limit liability for the municipality that's put the speed bump in
That as
to
well. We have
indicate
3
do not
claims.
go more than X miles an hour.
That's the other reason for
So,
that.
so I have a question now. So if we are able to get that sign, and let's just go with the 5, because that's what you said. If we put those up, that speed limit 5 miles per hour over the speed bumps, and somebody decides to come and they go 30, 35 miles per hour, yep, tear up the car, then we can say what?
We can say, look at our nice little sign.
We're not liable. Or
That's
there could
all
be
I
a
want to know. Thank you.
Waiver of liability issue, and that, again, I'm just thinking that far forward, if we've had 3 claims, then that would, and again, just bring back what those sign costs are. It could be 2 months from now, but just from a cost outlay, we just, wherever we have that frequency of speeding too fast and speed bumps. Yeah. You ought to see how many times I've replaced my meter that's not on my property because they're going completely around it, and I've asked for the rock to be put there, but.
Yeah, my question is, I'm sorry, what's the best way to ask the citizens in these neighborhoods where these speed bumps, could we go knock on the door, should we send a letter?
When they started coming out, everybody started coming to City Hall.
Bring it, put it on the water bill,
Well-
bring it as an agenda item at a meeting is what I recommend.
I would prefer, if we're gonna spend any money, that the citizens have a say in reference to taking them up, putting them back down, cause as Commissioner White would say, she don't really care for hers, but there are some citizens, like I said, who really want their speed bumps and mad the kind they got. And
Ms. Robinson came last meeting and stated she appreciated the consideration
Yeah.
to keep hers, so.
Yeah, because I know, and I talked to a couple of citizens, and I know, like Commissioner Green was saying in Magnolia, before they got one, they were like, hey, everybody else get theirs. We want one a lot. We want one in our neighborhood. So,
Oh, all right.
so I want to know what's the best way we can do it, what's cost effective, to talk to the citizens to see what they think about the speed bumps, especially the ones who have multiple ones in their
And
neighborhood.
since this is coming back to us on a regular meeting, do we have the timeline to put it on the water bill? That'll be discussion and an agenda item at the next meeting? Okay, all right, but end of May. I'm sure this will go 2 more months the way we operate. So, yeah, if we could just get it on the May water billing so that it could be agenda I think that would be healthy.
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor, not to progress this further, is there a lot of people complaining or something while we're having this discussion?
They're worn out.
They're worn out, but have we have a lot of complaints about the speed bumps itself, or is it just 2 or 3 people, or?
Real.
I think the 3 cars that the city has had to issue money for due to
Okay.
the speed bumps, and the fact that we have several of them that need to be,
They're
Okay.
wiggling, they're popping
replaced.
up.
Okay.
That's what you assess.
And
And the commissioner dislikes him, that's one. Okay, so
one more?
Dean, are you okay with the process at this point? Yes, or
Okay.
Mr. Kosicki? Sorry, I wasn't forgetting you.
Buckasicki citizen.
Yes, sir.
So, 3.5 years ago is when I brought it up to the city commission, that we don't really have an officer that goes around and looks at speeds. That street there, Alabama, and the street by my house, those are 25 mile an hour speed signs there. They don't care. Nobody cares about the speed. That's why I brought up speed humps, because I knew they worked in Micanopy forever. They had speed humps. But those were asphalt, you know, and they were built and whatever. And I knew we didn't have the money, whatever, even then. But the one out here is different than all the other ones. It's less of a bump, it's more of a hump. But that center one where the bolts are coming out is because there was pickup trucks that would sit there and hit it really hard and pull it loose. And they thought it was cool. So when it come up, I went back to Mr. Hammond and says, we need to do something. So that's when he put the bolts in, which are not standard, but that's what were put in to hold it down. They haven't pulled it up now, but if they might have been round-headed, you know, there's different things you might have been able to do. So, and that's the one that because it's where it's at, prevents people from running all the way or coming up Alabama that way.
Doing 50 miles.
Because they don't stop at the stop signs, even coming down this way, right next to us there, and coming this way.
It's playing
So,
chicken.
and again, since we don't have an officer, and even when the officer's here, if they see his vehicle, everything's quiet and easy. But as soon as he's gone, all hell breaks loose again.
Yep, you're right.
Back to
Again,
racing.
that timeline is 3.5
So
years ago,
that's
and the
what-
life of
yeah,
these that
so
we
that's
have
why-
are 3 years in this report.
I
so
think
that-
it would have been easier on the vehicles if they would have had that one, that kind, instead of the other ones, because I hate the other ones also. Because, I mean, you really got to go slow.
But they're
and
twice the
still-
cost. I think they're twice the cost. if
Yeah,
remember
and I think
correctly.
that's the
And that-
reason.
We went economic to get them down, to get 20 of them.
But you can see this is all the trucks you're talking about that don't go down that,
They turn.
that one, they go right through here.
Right.
Either straight or down Alabama. So you can see the kind of use it's had
Mm-hmm.
in those years, and it's still holding up. So it's better than, I think, the other ones, but,
Okay, thank you.
and I don't want that one to go.
Yes,
See?
yes, sir, Mr. Lewandowski.
Good evening. So I brought this up a couple of years ago when they first came in, so I'm going to sort of reiterate my position on this. So speed bumps are really inappropriate for normal streets. What is appropriate, they're for parking lots. What really is appropriate are speed humps. I know they're more expensive, and I'll get into that in a second. Speed humps are more appropriate for the roads that are like 15 miles an hour. For roads that are 25 miles an hour, speed tables are what is appropriate.
And that's what's next in the neighborhood next to North Florida Regional Med Center.
Correct, and so I understand that there's a cost issue, and I would suggest there should be sort of an interim approach. You know, if you have to have some speed bumps or something in the interim while you're planning. And the other important thing to remember is that placement is everything. So especially with speed tables and speed humps, the idea is not to come to a complete stop. The idea is to have traffic calming, so that you place these things far enough apart in the appropriate level.
don't run over
That
a
way,
child.
you don't have people coming in all upset because you damaged their cars.
Yes, sir.
And
Okay.
so it takes a little bit of planning. It really is not rocket science. I'm sure Calvin I sat here, just like I did last time, 10 minutes to look on the internet. All the information you need is right there.
It's a scale of economics, and that's what we had to address the first time, and I'm sure we will address it again this time.
Well, but now's the time, since we're talking about it, now's the time to look at, okay, so what would it cost to do it the right way and program that in and then come up with the short-term solution?
And that's what's being brought back to us at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Thank
The
you.
second thing I was going to suggest is that for your street, I think it's time for you to call the Florida Department of Transportation and ask them to get a traffic count on that part of 170th. So they
I
have
also hope that our upcoming workshops can address that. and
Okay,
Bring
yeah.
it for his recommendations.
Because right now what's happening is you have a traffic count out here on 170th as it comes past City Hall, and that has dramatically increased. I can't
sir.
call it a percentage, but
From
it's like
industrial usage,
80%
yeah.
or something over the past couple of years, so it's huge. So I think we could ask that question, and we should get a traffic count in front of your
It's
house.
certainly one of the elements in the comp plan amendment of that zoning coming up.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anyone else? Oh, my goodness.
Lori Costello, citizen. I would suggest not spending any money right now unless it's an emergency. We can't even afford to hire a manager or an accountant or
Yes.
do a lot of things. We don't even have a profit and loss, so I would suggest not to spend any money. But I know Mr. Lewandowski has been telling you for years, myself also, as long as you continue to put speed bumps out there, you're going to continue paying for vehicles. They are definitely made for parking lots. Your signs say speed humps, and they're not speed humps, they're speed bumps. And you have more than just that one sign connected to the speed bump sign, speed hump sign that's 25 miles an hour.
Ms. Costello, that's why I brought up, we could remove those signs. There's
Okay.
nothing,
What I'm saying is you have more than just that one.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We're going to address that in the next meeting when this is agended.
Okay. Like I said, you're going to continue, as long as you use those speed bumps, you have to have the correct signage. Yours says humps. They're not humps, they're bumps.
I don't have any on my street. They've been
It doesn't
removed.
matter wherever they're at in the city.
There's no consistency
Okay.
is what I'm trying to explain, and we need to have
Also,
that.
also, the emergency vehicles, you need to think about this. Every second for an emergency is crucial. You should ask the fire people for the ambulance and the fire trucks. They slowed them down tremendously, and I mean tremendously. And when somebody's dying of a heart attack or stroke or something else, every second is important.
Okay.
And y'all are going to get sued with 4 speed bumps or humps on one road.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
When somebody dies, they're going to come be looking at you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll add that to the list. Anyone else? Ms. Robertson, I think you wanted to speak.
Rhonda Robertson, citizen.
Well,
On the staff recommendations, third item down, it says corner of Depot is coming up. What corner is that?
It's
Yes.
between the two. There's two, I think there's, I'm trying to remember how it went. This one is between two, I know, because that's what we said, if we took it up, it really wasn't gonna affect it, because there's one on each side. So, it's,
and it's coming up because it's, the bolts are coming up, is it not? That's the only reason it's coming up, is there?
Oh, okay, I need to know what corner you mean.
it's
Is it,
right there where the house is.
is that 132nd Avenue? Are you talking about that
If
corner?
I'm coming down by Denny's, and I come down to the corner, going around. it's
The
right there.
curve, you're talking about
The
the
curve.
curve. Okay,
It's right there,
it's right there.
and,
Okay,
That's the one with the bolts coming up.
and, yeah. But
okay.
then there's, if I'm not mistaken. if
Two
I
more.
Remember it correctly, there's two past it, one at Denny's and one,
At 132nd Avenue.
then you come around by you, and there's one.
And then further
and then
down, there's,
one down by Miss Tanner's is the one we had to take up.
You took that one up. Well, the one at 132nd Avenue should not be removed
moved. Okay.
at all. I sent all of you emails, hopefully.
I know you
you've
spoke
had
to
it.
that at the last meeting about
Yes, I
that one.
did, yes, I
ma'am.
did, but I've sent you pictures
Okay.
for the reason why, and also an email, and I hope you've all taken a chance to read it and look at the pictures. Thank you. Commissioner Penny, you're right. Some of the citizens do want these.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know how you can put value on a life. I'm out there and my 97-year-old neighbor is walking her dog.
Dog.
So, and the drivers just don't pay any attention.
Right.
They don't.
Right, because I stay down the lane and they on a racetrack
yes.
sometimes. So I understand what you're saying.
That road is a
So-
raceway
Thank you.
and always has been.
Thank you.
Right. Just want to know the best way to talk to the citizens to see how they feel about it. Thank you so much.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Anyone else want to speak to this before we go to a vote? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, with it being brought back to us with more information, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Nays like sign. Motion carries 5-0. Cleaning company quotes for City Hall and Archer Community Center. Next, old business item 2.
Yes, Mayor Hope. So, Justin and myself reached out to the cleaning company, so Crystal Clean is still the one we're recommending. She said the price is the same regardless of the frequency, so it would just be for City Hall, $250 a month. She'll come by weekly, and that's both city, offices and over here. Community center, even though it says deep clean, that's just the way she words it, it's just a cleaning, so it would be, $450 a month for bi-weekly cleaning there, which, so that was for her, and then Mr. Stevens said the pricing would stay the same as well, so, it would be about this, it'd be actually the same, but we could actually have Crystal Clean, if I'm saying this right, come every week for the same price as we would pay, Kenny, I think I got
And
that right.
I don't mean
But
to ask-
anyways, staff is recommending Crystal Clean.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I'm asking a question before we even go to a
Sure.
motion for further discussion, so just pardon me, but on Crystal Clean, I know we asked about frequency. It's the 1 unit of cleaning, 225, whether we have her once a month, twice a month, or weekly, correct? I mean,
Well, I asked them for bi-weekly. I didn't say if it was once a month. I said bi-weekly. So she said it would still be the 125 and the 225. Same thing with Mr. Stevens. It would be the same price, just bi-weekly price.
And would she increase the price if we just cherry picked the community center and not the office and chambers here?
No. No.
It would
She
be
said she would
higher.
still go ahead. No, she
Oh,
would still be 225.
So these are two separate quotes for the
Yes.
two
Yes.
addresses.
In case you guys wanted to
based on
go with
whatever
only-
frequency we choose.
Correct, and Mr. Stevens was fine as well if we only wanted to do one location over the other. The other lady, I didn't hear back, her name's Edie, on the bi-weeklies, but she was the highest quote anyways.
Okay. And again, the only reason for that
Right,
30,000 foot question is because of the scale of economics and where we're at right now.
Right.
So, all right, based on this review, for further discussion and consideration, do I have a motion to consider any of these opportunities?
I will make a motion to go with Crystal Clear, Crystal Clean.
Second.
What frequency?
It doesn't matter the frequency.
Bi-weekly,
it's the
which is every 2
bi-weekly, right?
weeks?
75 bi-weekly, right? For both. Correct. Yeah. So, I don't think it needs to be more than bi-weekly, but,
So twice a month, here and at the community center with it.
yeah, and that's still gonna be costly. But, yeah. But
Okay.
that's a good price for cleaning all
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second to that effect so we can have further discussion?
We had a second.
I'm sorry, you?
Yeah.
Thank you. I have a motion from Commissioner White, a second from Vice Mayor. Any further discussions? Any comments from the constituents in the audience regarding this consideration for taking care of our assets in the city of Archer? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion regarding biweekly cleaning of both City Hall, office, chambers, and Archer Community Center, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Nays, like sign, motion carries. Do you know when she will start? The company will start?
We can reach out to her and ask her when we can get on the schedule.
Because it needs,
Oh,
Archer
it
Community
needs to be
Center
done.
needs it now.
It does, yeah. I'll see if she can, we'll see if she can start this week. Yeah.
I mean, it's either that or Public Works needs to be assigned to go check it. Not
Yeah. No,
not
I'll get her-
disrespecting Commissioner White, you and your sister doing all your
Yeah, they
volunteerism.
did. They do.
And Easter Sunday week, I didn't expect anybody down there, but, then we had League of Cities last Tuesday, and I was emptying trash on Friday from Tuesday, and sweeping and mopping. Did we have events there on the weekend? Did they complain? Do you know?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I copped out as your mayor because I was not gonna spend 4 to 6 hours down there sweeping. I swept, but I wasn't gonna mop the entire area, but it needed it before we rented it. And I didn't bother anybody to find out when it was rented, but I was worried that, they were gonna, if they didn't, wonderful. I know the trash cans were cleaned out and emptied, but that was from the League of Cities on Tuesday. This just brings me that, again, would you find out if the Divas used it for dancing on Monday and Thursday? Because they were our fail-safe that if they used it on Thursday, they'd at least report what it looked like.
I believe so, because I think I spoke to her
And
one
maybe
day
they thought
last
it was
week.
good enough, but to have trash from Tuesday, the League of Cities still in there, and I'm not expecting Evelyn team to dunk their heads in the trash can, but they should have reported it so that we could have, whoever was on call would have gone in there and checked it. And I understand from all our dialogue with the Divas, that was their commitment, is they would look at it from a rental standpoint. Don't expect them, I don't expect them to do all that cleaning, but they certainly should report it to us. If you could just reach out and just ask her again. I didn't know whether they used it or not, so that's why I'm bringing it up tonight. If they are using it Monday and Thursday, there are safety valve check on Thursday for the weekend. I think with y'all closing shop, to then be able to know whether to assign somebody that's on call to go in there and pick up behind something we've used it for, like the League of Cities on Tuesday. Because I got fussed at home saying, why didn't you clean it up after the League of Cities? I said, because I was tired and had to go to work at 5 o'clock the next morning, so. And the guys told me that they'd take care of it, because I know there was food left over. But the food was still in the refrigerator too. It wasn't a lot, but, there lies the problem. So I'm not expecting the Divas to dump food, but they certainly, if there's food in the refrigerator, from an event.
They probably didn't look in the refrigerator.
I'm sure they did.
But I would like them to, because it could be smelling. I mean, because they get bottled waters out of there. There's always waters in those refrigerators, so that's not hard. It takes 10, 15 seconds.
Hopefully the cleaning will take care of a lot of these issues.
Yeah.
It's still gonna leave us wide open from one week to the next, because they're only coming bi-weekly. So that leaves a whole week open where we don't have the check.
That's
Do
what
they-
it is.
Oh, I'm sorry, but the stripping of the floors went,
That's the next one. My bad.
Did we take the vote?
We did,
Okay.
didn't
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Next item. Item 3, old business, quotes for strip and wax floors at the Archer Community Center.
Yes, sir. So Mr. Stevens is, like, we were back in whatever month that was, is 1,500. Pro Clean is 1,770, and I believe Crystal Clean was like 7,000, but she doesn't have the equipment or anything like that, so that's why you don't have 3 quotes or something like that. It made 5, or 4. It was significantly more than these
Okay.
2 quotes. These people have the full equipment, so we're recommending Mr. Stevens for the strip and wax.
Do I have a motion on the floor to that effect? And a second for further discussion?
Yes.
What's your motion, Vice Mayor?
Thank you. Well, I was about to make the motion, yes. I move that we go with the staff recommendation of Stevens Cleaning Concepts for the flooring.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Motion from Vice Mayor, second from Commissioner Green. Any further discussion from the dais? My only discussion is I don't think we're in a position to afford this. I think we need to consider continue to get bids. It's not at a no return situation at this time this month. I think we need to keep the bid requests out there. It's
Okay.
too expensive.
And I was gonna say, but we've had it out for a while. It's been a couple months, and we don't have to have him come in like tomorrow or this month.
It's probably only
he-
good for 30 days, though, probably his bid quote. I'm not sure. Did he say? Did they say?
I'll have to ask.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a great consideration. I'm not-
Right.
And if we, It's from March.
It is from March, so I didn't check with it.
yeah, it is from
I'm
March.
just-
But she did check to see if there was gonna be, didn't you just say you talked to Kenny about this?
Yes.
You meant, okay, so was that on March 14th you talked to him, or was that recently? That you just
talked to him both. I talked to him last week. I
That's
think,
okay.
And then also a while ago in March.
Okay. And the price is the same? Is that
And again,
right?
my position is that we have not reconciled bank statements. We do not know where we're at, and I just feel that the floor, again, because I cleaned it with Windex, I guess I'm the one that's assessing it, I'm not a floor specialist, but I know it can be brought back to a basic sheen right now. I just think we need to consider leaving the bid request up there to see what else we get. We're not in an emergent situation with that floor at this time.
I'm gonna speak for somebody that does know. You're not gonna get anybody cheaper than $750, not to strip and wax. Now, you may get them to mop and buff cheaper than $375, but you're not gonna get them to strip and wax for less than $1,500, anywhere. But, and I don't know why we can't go ahead and accept it and just tell him we've accepted it, but we don't want it done right now.
Yes, a timeline, yeah. I
Any
think
other
we should come up
discussion
with a
of the dice?
timeline.
I tend to agree with Commissioner White. When is the last time, do we know when the last time it's been stripped and waxed?
I do not, it's been, he did say it's in really, really rough shape, I can tell you that much.
Okay.
But I don't remember, I think it's been years, if I recall correctly.
It's been a year.
But he said whoever did it, in his opinion, didn't do it correctly, they didn't clean it well enough, that's why you see all that dirt and glitter and stuff left in there. And I think the other company told me the same thing, I believe. So, I mean, it is getting pretty rough.
Okay, well, we don't want it to get so bad till we have to start replacing something, so, yeah, I agree to go ahead
Any other discussion on the dais?
with this one.
Hearing none, constituents in the audience have something to say? Welcome, Ms. Costello.
Roberto Lopez, I don't think we need to wait one moment. If you really look at that floor, it is horrible. It is really, really bad. And you wanted to know when the last time? A year ago. I think it was in 2023 when it was really done by Mr. Payne. You remember Mr. Payne? He's the last person who did that. And every time I look at it, it is getting worse. So I'm asking you to please do not hold off 2 months because it's just going to get worse.
Do we have Mr. Payne's contact?
Mr. Payne was fired by Cindy.
Got that?
Remember?
Do we have Mr. Payne's contact?
If
was
you
my
don't, I
question.
do.
Yes.
Folks, why would you contact him if you're being told that whoever did it the last time, it was the worst job they'd ever seen?
All right, can I say this?
It
Can I
was
say this?
$700.
Nobody was there when that happened. I was there at the place when Cindy told him he had not done a good job. He apologized to her because he said he did not oversee it and he took full responsibility. Mr. Payne did an excellent job on buffing that thing out and keeping it. It lasted forever. So yes, go back and get him if he'll come back and, because she shouldn't have even fired him. Something was going down because the following week, she paid him $2,500 and she had just paid $900.
Thank you, Ms. Costello. Anyone else regarding the motion on the floor? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion on the floor say aye.
Aye.
Nays, like sign, nay. Motion passes 4-1. Would you still please get Mr. Payne's contact? Thank you. And find out if he still is of interest in what he would do it for. At your availability, Dean. It's not an urgent situation.
But didn't we just vote on Mr. Stevens doing it?
Yes, yes, we did.
There's nothing in law saying you have to maintain a contract. You could cut it off in 30 days if you come back with it a little bit.
Waste our time.
Because you all wanted it 4-1.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. You got it. Next item. It is what it is. New business, resolution number 2025-15, amendment to the traffic signal maintenance agreement with the State of Florida Department of Transportation.
Mr. Mayor, this is resolution number 2025-15, a resolution of the City of Archer, Florida, approving that certain amendment to the traffic signal maintenance and compensation agreement with the State of Florida Department of Transportation for maintenance of certain highway lighting facilities located in the City of Archer, making certain findings of fact in support of the city approving said amendment, recognizing the authority of the mayor to execute and bind the city to said amendment, directing the mayor to execute and bind the city to said amendment, repealing all prior resolutions in conflict, and providing an effective date. Commission, this is the same agreement that comes to you every year. The prices are listed on the Exhibit A. This is what will be paid in order to maintain the traffic signals as we are. There's really not a lot of negotiation with FDOT, and by not a lot, I mean none. You take it or leave it.
There you go.
So I'm happy to answer any questions.
I will make a motion to adopt resolution number.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Vice Mayor, a motion from Commissioner White.
No, we
Any
don't.
further discussion? On the dais, any conversation from the constituency regarding this motion?
Do I need to repeat it? Kirsten?
If you don't mind, just so it gets picked up.
I will make a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-50.
Thank you.
And do I have a second from Vice
Second.
Mayor? Have a motion and a second. Any further conversation from the dais? Hearing none, anybody from the constituency in the audience want to speak to this? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor of resolution number 2025-15, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Nays like sign. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0.
I don't even know.
Next item, Citizen Advisory Committee discussion. You want to speak to that, Deanna?
A little bit, yes, I don't mind. Roberta came in and spoke with me, because I know she handed this out, I think at the April meeting, I believe. The first one, when I spoke to her, I did know about the whole Doge thing. So my only thing would be for city staff is if the committee advisory board, whatever, if it's the one that's not in the sunshine, if they could, I would suggest 5 members, that's just my opinion. If they could do their own agenda, minutes, have at the community center, that way staff, mostly myself, Justin, or Steve, or whoever to run stuff, won't have to be here, just to try to save money. And then they can just talk to me and the commission, or however they want to do it with, their suggestions. But the annexations, I think are a good idea. It takes a lot of work, to make sure they're contiguous, a lot of research. So if somebody's good with that, I think that's a good thing. As far as the community center, I really don't want to address that at the moment. But the contracts, again, it's just a lot of research. It's just time consuming, reaching out to all these people. I don't see anything wrong with it. The employee records, I'm not quite sure if they're allowed to have access to that or not. That's probably an attorney question. And the red brick building out front, we would absolutely love somebody to take that over and look through everything and get rid of everything that on the record retention. Most of it can probably be pitched or some permanent records, but not much that needs to be saved out there. So I think it's a good idea. It's just finding the right group of people, that have this kind of expertise that can do all this kind of work. So that's input from staff. So if Ms. Roberta would like to add anything, she may, of course.
I think we need a motion and a second before we proceed.
What we doing a motion for? I thought we were.
It's just
Us and
discussion
trying to
only.
Decide
Okay.
if this is something.
Go ahead, Ms.
we do.
Lopez.
Roberto Lopez. On the employee records, what I meant by that is that a lot of the job descriptions need to be updated. And what I'm thinking is if we have this committee, they could help write those, but they would have to pass everything by Deanna and I guess the rest of you to get approval that they look all right. What I was trying to do here is take some of the load off of Deanna. Because as you can see tonight, from what's been going on here tonight, and she's barged up now, I don't know if anybody can help you with that, but it's just too much for her to do. And to be honest with you, I feel like at this point, the community center is really not being taken care of still. After all of the things, that we've done to try to keep it going, I went in there on Friday, and it was so dirty. And it was being rented the next day. So it's a possibility that even this committee could help us to look out for things like that. I don't know, I appreciate what Joan is doing, she and her sister and all of that, but it's still not being checked. So that's what I meant by that. Also, if you look at your charter, you will see the powers of the city. And it tells you here clearly, it says under number or whatever that is, I forgot what section, but it says powers of the city of Archer to establish citizens committees boards and commission. So you have every right to do this. And I wish, because people have been asking to, start something to help. And I wish all of you would I don't plan to be on this committee. Because first of all, I gotta take care of me and my husband and in my health and stuff like that. I've done too much already. What I will do, if y'all want, whoever, when this committee get themselves together and established and everything, if they wanna come to me and need a resource, which I have many of, I'll be more than happy to help. Or if they have any questions about anything like that. But I don't plan to be on this committee. So hopefully some of the citizens will pick up the handle. Or maybe what we can do, Deanna, is you can put out a pad like at the town hall meeting. It can be announced there and say if anybody would like to serve on it. You get a whole list of people. And then you do the elimination. You pick who you want from that entire group, who you think you can work with. It doesn't matter to me who it is. But if you can't work with them, you go on to the next person or whatever, or you feel like you can't. Now, that's what I would do. And they would be responsible for taking care of the minutes because it's not a board. We had the Archer Community Center Advisory Board, and we had to operate under, just like the commission. We were under the Sunshine Law and all that. But this is different. This is just having a committee who's gonna help us out in this crisis. And right now, I see a big one. Thank you.
Is it time?
No.
Comments?
Yeah.
Regarding this discussion of this item,
But it's not public comments.
No.
It's not public comments.
it's regarding this
Yeah.
discussion of this item only. Yes, ma'am.
Lori Costello, citizen. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. That would help out Deanna so much. And I don't quite agree with Roberta, because Deanna don't have to work with every member individually. So there'll be somebody, a chairperson that you would probably normally work with. But I know the city has a problem getting estimates. Deanna could come to us and say, could you work on this for me? There's gonna be things that Deanna will bring to us that will help you eliminate stuff that, because sometimes to get estimates, you gotta really pound on the concrete to get them out here, but that's only one thing out of many that the citizens could help, besides things that Roberta mentioned. But you have to have a diversity of citizens because everybody brings something different to the table, and that's what we need.
Thank you,
All right, thank you.
thank you. Anyone else like to speak to this?
Since I brought it up, can I just?
Ms. Skinner is speaking first, and then you. Welcome.
Brenda Skinner, citizen. I think the idea of the advisory board is really good. I definitely think that Deanna needs some help. But when I look down through this, I'm a little concerned at some of the things that are on the list. The first one that jumped out at me was employee records. If I was an employee of this town, I'd be screaming bloody murder. I wouldn't, as a city auditor, I wouldn't want a citizen in the town just sitting there looking over my shoulder. So look at this carefully. Think about what you really want this committee to do. But there are a lot of things that the citizens in this town would be willing to help with. And there are a lot of citizens in this town who have offered to help.
There are a lot of citizens that have stepped up again.
Yes, and who have already stepped up and helped. But there are a lot who have offered help and been told, we don't need it. There are some people who are not helping because they were turned away or been turned off. So I think if that hand were extended again, they might be willing to help.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Skinner. Ms. Lopez, you had something else to say
Yes, I guess I got it back up.
regarding this discussion of this item?
Yes. I didn't quite get a full understanding when you say.
Ms. Lopez, could you direct your conversation to the commission,
Yes.
please?
I want to ask Laurie, when she said she didn't agree with me, I'm trying to figure out what she meant.
Could you take that up with her after the meeting, please?
No, I didn't quite understand what she was saying.
You could take
She
that
was
up with her.
saying that they don't have to work, individually.
Individually, the committee members, because that would be overtaxing our city manager to have individuals reporting. It would be through the chair.
Oh, no,
And
no,
this
no,
is-
no, 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 I didn't mean that.
We didn't say you. This is a discussion, and we're about to take it back
Well,
over
you
after any
cleared
other.
it up. You cleared it up.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, because that makes sense if you were the city manager.
It makes sense to me, and I just
I would
wanted
go
to get it.
crazy with, a committee with 10 projects and all of them reporting to me at the same time. She would go on a sabbatical for longer than the Pope. Sorry. Little levity, I'm sorry.
You took up all my ends, sir.
Anyone else regarding discussing this? Okay, my only discussion is I definitely think if we're considering this, moving it forward, that it should be brought back by our interim city manager on the focus of the projects that you would like to have assistance with. Then let us be that accountable body to say, okay, it should be back through you. Just like we shouldn't have an individual commissioner going to you and directing, it should be brought back through this dais. So I think you should have that autonomy. I'm looking direct at Deanna, but I'm speaking to the entire dais. If I was an interim city manager or the city manager, to have a helping hand from citizenry, these ideas that are in this, I'd like you to cherry pick through them. And you spoke of one, the little building and the archiving and inventorying that, great project. But when you get through Doge, you could go through that and then bring it back as an agenda item if that's acceptable to everyone. Not trying to put everything off, but the big bear Doge in the state of Florida is in the room, and so we have to take care of that. So if we could have this brought back to us in the June meeting, I think that would be appropriate. You'd be breathing again and be able to think and even ask your staff, what could this committee help us with?
And I'll be willing to help if you.
And it's a committee, it cannot be called a board, because I can't agree more with I'm sorry, go ahead, attorney.
No, I just wanted to clarify, in case this is where you were going, if this board is gonna provide, recommendations to the commission, it has to be publicly noticed meetings,
With minutes.
with minutes and all the
Through the board
rigmarole.
protocol.
Yes.
Okay, so take that under consideration.
Changes it significant.
Yeah, and did, Ms. Lopez, great idea, but from our past experience with boards and the encompassing and issues that occur with that. So anyway, just bring it back with your recommendation and any consideration in June if that's possible. Okay, moving on. Yes, ma'am, thank you. You, as well as any other citizens that are coming forward to want to volunteer, I thank you all personally and publicly. Next is a fee waiver request for the Archer Church of God in Christ for Maddox Park, May 4th, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on National Day of Prayer. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I can speak to that one since I submitted that application. This is a community-wide project that we're trying to do on the National Day of Prayer over at Maddox Park, and we're including and asking for all pastors. It's just open to everybody that wants to attend, just to do small service and have just every pastor pray. And so it's just something. I'm a part of the Alachua County Pastors Association, and we've done this for a few years now. Now we do it more as we have a prayer breakfast on National Day of Prayer. This year it's on May 1st this week. But this is something we've done that City of Gainesville have waived fees for us to use. We've even had it downtown Gainesville in different parts to be able to do this. So this is something that we've been doing for a few years now. So I just thought that it would be good to bring it to Archer. So And so we're asking for the fee waiver, but, if it's not approved for the fee waiver, we can certainly pay for it, but since it's open to the community, that's why we're asking for the fee waiver, and it's a community effort and project.
Do you have a motion to that effect?
So move.
Have a motion from Vice Mayor Bailey. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second from Commissioner Penny.
Just to clarify for the record, Mr. Mayor, Commissioner Green, I think that you said it at the beginning, but just to put a point on it, your comments just now were as the applicant and not as a member of this commission, because you cannot vote on this issue.
Right.
Okay, so we just didn't step down because obviously you're stuck back here behind all of us,
Presented.
moving our chairs back.
Thank you for that clarification. Any discussion regarding the motion on the floor for the fee waiver request for May 4th between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. as a National Day of Prayer in Maddox Park?
Not for me.
Any comments from the constituents in the audience regarding this fee waiver request?
What was the motion?
Motion was from
To go for.
Vice Mayor Bailey to approve the fee waiver request for Archer Church of God in Christ Maddox at Maddox Park, May 4th, 2 to 6 for National Day of Prayer. It was seconded by Commissioner Penny. And we're in discussion. And I've offered it to the constituents in the audience for comments. Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor of the fee waiver request motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Nays, like sign. Hearing none, motion approved 5-0.
That's 4-0.
Yeah, 4. She did.
4, I'm sorry, Commissioner Green recused herself because.
And we'd like to invite all of you to please come out and be a part of it. It would start at 3 o'clock. Yes, we all need it, so it would start at 3 o'clock.
It's started
Don't forget
3,
to turn
but
in your
it's,
form.
I'm sorry.
Don't forget to turn in your form for your recusal from this vote.
oh, okay. So, Commissioner, I'm sorry, you said it started at 3, it says 2 to 6,
It'll
but
give us
it's
time just to set up and everything, yeah, take some speakers and
She's
stuff
gonna
like
use
that.
you to volunteer to help set up.
Well, if I'm available, we'll see.
That's the new trick, you didn't know that, did you? Put that,
I definitely want to come by, but
okay.
Sundays are busy.
All right, thank you. Are you familiar with the recusal form that she's speaking of?
Yeah.
Well,
Could you-
Deanna and I can help you
Deanna,
out.
could you send her,
Meeting, can we do that after the meeting?
Yeah, we can do that after the meeting. Carry on. So,
just so you're familiar with the form or what I,
Supervisor Mayor Bailey can get on.
yes, ma'am.
Amen.
Census Auto Gun Purchase Corps in Maine. Agenda item.
Normally, of course, I would bring it to you guys. We've been limping this one along forever. Kelvin even had to go down and pick up a rental or not a rental, a loaner at Ocala several times. The screen is broken. It doesn't hold a charge. So since our water billing is like one of our main revenues, I went ahead and told them to go ahead and order it. So in case it stopped in the middle of meters this month, we had to wait to finish. But it made it through, but I don't want to keep testing it. So unfortunately, I went ahead and approved it. So I was just letting you know, that's why we bought it. We did our best to make it last, but it's pretty much done. That answers Mr. Arnold's question.
Do you know how long we've had the other one?
I know a few of us were talking, I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 years, or if I'm all off, we'd have to go back and try to find the last permit, I can't remember.
And did they
Seemed like
come
we
with any
replaced
kind
it
of warranty?
once.
I believe they do have warranty, I just don't know how long it is. Does it say on here?
I don't know, I didn't even look, Ben, I'm sorry.
So this is information, or do you want us to approve by motion?
I mean, if you want, I can put it in the minutes, I just letting you know why I didn't
Yeah,
come to you
she's
for
within her parameter
approval.
of spending, I just,
Yeah.
So
all
if you don't
expensive.
mind,
done.
Yeah, I'll entertain that you all do this by motion for approval.
So
Have a motion from Vice Mayor for the approval of this, a second from Commissioner White. Do the guys already have it, or you just ordered it?
it hasn't come just yet, but we did order it.
Okay.
Now, what would you do if we just said, no, we're not doing it?
Okay. Any further discussion regarding the replacement of the Census Auto Gun purchase? And would you just let us know the warranty on it since that was asked? That's the only question that I think was brought up. Any questions from the constituents in the audience regarding this motion for replacement of the census gun for water meter reading? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye as well. Nays like sign, motion carries
Mayor,
5-0.
before you go to public comment, can I just, bring one thing up?
Yes, ma'am.
I told y'all in the last meeting about the sand mines going in.
Yes, ma'am.
Those sand mines are gonna play havoc on our road.
Inner city streets, yes, ma'am,
Yes,
for
they
sure.
are, and that's what we were talking about.
Sand erodes and tears up street
Well,
bed.
and if they're going to 241, they're coming down that
Yes,
road.
yes, ma'am.
You might want them real high. But I'm asking the commission if we can send a letter to the Board of County Commissioners, Levy County, and tell them we oppose this. And why?
As our attorney, can you reference this and prepare that for us?
I can prepare that for you.
I mean, to make sure it's valid, I mean, not that you're not saying everything that's true, what's happening, but validate it so that we,
She hasn't been keeping up with it, bless her heart. I'll send you a link.
I can certainly put together sort of the draft outline of a letter, and then perhaps Commissioner White could fill in the details so that we don't have double work.
is it specifically Watson Construction that's doing it?
No, it's, what did he say their name was?
It's a contract that's coming in there to serve all of the C and Ds.
No, it's a sand mine. It's coming in there to mine sand.
Right, and serve all of the C and Ds in this area, or anybody that needs a truck filled with sand.
It's Anderson, Columbia.
Anderson, Columbia.
Columbia, okay.
They're big all over, I guess.
Okay, all right, that's why I was, wanted to make sure it wasn't one of our C and Ds, it was targeting this. This is an independent contractor coming in. to
No,
do
it's
it.
an independent contractor, but,
Okay,
yeah, I mean, we've put up with the, dump, we've put up with the C and Ds.
spray field, the spray fields that University of Florida
And now we're gonna have a
have
sand
sand.
mine. And they're all coming down 24,
24.
either east, north or south, or west or east. Huh?
She said, what can we do, send a letter?
That's what I said, the only thing, and I don't know if they'll listen to it, we're talking about a different county. But I
It
do
might
know
speak-
Mary Alfred's on top of it too.
And it might speed up the four laning faster as well.
Where's it going down there?
It's a mile and a half, exactly a mile and a half on the, west side of the county line.
Oh, okay. Sounds pretty close to the street.
And we have people that live in there, right in there. so-
Yeah, my son lives up in there, down that road.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just,
Okay, thank you.
Mayor,
And, ma'am,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I had a few real quick updates. I can talk really fast.
Okay,
That's
sure.
okay. Okay, Timo used to work for us. I don't know who remembers him. He's back in 18, I think twice actually. He started last Monday, the 21st, just so everyone's aware. We'll order him shirts soon.
And what's his name again?
Timo.
Timo.
He's kind of a little bit shorter. Yeah, you'll see him out mowing, but you'll see it's a man without our normal green, yellow shirts.
Part-time or full-time?
He's the part-time,
Part-time.
yeah, yes. But he used to work here before, he has a lot of experience, so we're really excited we were able to get him back, because we were having a hard time getting somebody that was just right for our team.
Okay.
So he started the splash pad, I know that's been a thing. So John and all of them have been working really hard, so now we're to the point where he has to clean the solenoids, one of them broke today, so he has 5 more to go. He called the manufacturer, hopefully I get this right. They can't send anybody till next Monday, but he's gonna keep trying to get it working, so I know everyone wants it open, and I totally understand that, but we might have to start looking at some hard choices, my personal opinion, because between the chemicals, all these we ordered $900 worth of parts, all these chemicals, filters, I'm just saying, might wanna think about possibly, but that's just my personal thing on the splash pad. So we're trying to open it, but I guess we're getting a lot of stuff on Facebook and go on that stuff, so I don't know.
So I have a question. Have you had a chance to call AquaWorks?
Yes, Calvin and John especially has been calling to try to get some help out here. He called
Have they
Alachua
come
too to
at all?
get some
Okay,
help.
yeah.
Alachua may be able to, but they have somebody out ill.
Okay.
It's just, it seems like a struggle every year with this splash
Yep.
pad, but everyone likes it, but
Once
so
it
many
gets going.
people used and abused it, and now we're having all this money to spend, and so the kids that do it right are, like most things, having to pay for it.
Well, the concrete
So-
barrier hopefully will help from all the piping destruction from
Right,
years
and
back.
right, that, and I know there's some wiring John needs to know
Mm-hmm.
about. It just seems like there's quite a bit, but we're trying our best to get it up and running for
Okay.
those that are listening and
Could
watching.
you put something to that effect and just notation on our website that it's in works and updating and
No
progress?
response needed.
Yeah, just, so the citizens know we're just not being abusive and not paying attention. Absolutely, they are, it's as bad as those speed bumps, so,
And then our second May meeting falls right on Memorial Day, so I have it online as the 27th. Does anyone, have any issues with that? I mean, I don't need a motion, I was just moving it to Tuesday, because normally we,
no, I don't.
Okay.
Instead of it being Memorial Day, you don't want to come to a meeting on
No,
Monday.
I'm not coming on Memorial Day.
And,
You're gonna be memorialized, huh?
it's been brought up several times about the fences at Wilson Robinson Park, and we turned them in through FEMA. And since,
The hurricane.
for Hurricane Helene, so since the fences are covered under our insurance, they want us to try that way. The insurance is saying FEMA, so we're back to, it's approximately 11,000 was, I think, the cheapest quote. We'd have to redo it now with the tariffs. I have no clue how much it's gonna be. That was not the right color and everything, if I remember correctly. The one that has the green for
Right.
is close to, I think, 18 or 19,000. So just, that's why the fences look the way they do. We just can't repair them at the moment, but they do
Okay.
look rough. I did run around with Calvin this morning for about an hour. But that was it, I just want, and then the whole Doge thing, you guys have it, if anyone needs the email, they can, have it, of course, it's just, we have to go all the way back to 23, 24, they want a lot of reports.
Okay.
Stuff ain't there, so I'm working on 23, 24, Justin's on 24, 25. Tandy's working on the miscellaneous stuff, and I have a lot of stuff I have to try to find, so so Justin, myself, and I'm not overtime, but they'll be working overtime, I don't have a choice, I'm just
Okay.
letting you know.
Okay.
We're doing our best here to get
Well,
through
this
this
is mandated from the
mound.
governor's office
Yes.
for all municipalities.
And I talked to Mary Lou in Hampton, and she said they went through this back when she came in 15, where they almost lost her charter, but anyways, she might be able to come help out maybe next week.
And what about Dallas and Amanda with
I
the
asked Al a few
transition?
questions to try to get the
Yeah,
revenue
to
in,
reach
so I
them.
think I figured that out, so
Okay.
that's what me and Justin were working on. Justin, excuse me.
Marlo will
Dallas
not be
won't-
taking over city manager until school is out, correct?
Right, so Dallin, I
Slash-
already asked him about that last week. He won't be, his contract ends June 9th, and he'll need a week or two to come back, so we're looking towards the end of June before he comes back, so I asked him if him or Amanda can show us how to reconcile these bank statements, going to your comment earlier, so
Yep.
we're trying to move them along. She can only work a few hours is why. It's not like she doesn't know what she's doing, it's just.
Right, no, and it didn't.
Yeah, and Dallas just
make that-
can't because it's a conflict, and I understand him
Right
separating
now with
himself from us.
his, yeah.
Oh,
his
yeah, we're.
Subordinate doing
Yeah,
the job, he
She's
can't.
great, but that's what we're trying to get her to just do that, so we're trying to figure out everything else in ourselves without asking Dallas. But Mary Lou, I can't remember her name, Jennifer came over, because we're having issues with payroll too, but we got to go.
It's Reverend Pesco's sister that lives right
Yes.
next door, so thank you for doing that,
So we're
Commissioner
trying to
White.
use
Yeah.
resources as much as we can to help out, move things along.
Does she have the experience to assist us with reconciling?
Mary Lou?
Huh?
No, but she knows
Edmonds.
but she
Okay,
doesn't know.
but that doesn't help us with reconciling bank
Yeah,
statements with
she was a
QuickBooks.
sweetheart.
Okay, just asking, I just didn't know, so if you needed to propose a contract service or something, consideration, and put it out for RFP, okay.
But
Anything
we
else?
are paying the employee taxes when you do the payroll.
Oh, yeah, that's what's in the first month, first.
Yeah, and the bill pay, she
agenda.
does the 941
And now the FRS
documents.
is in there as well.
I was
that
just
we're paying
making
it.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's the second big bear
Well,
now, so.
Now, the payroll we just did, we
That's
can't
what
pay
I-
taxes, but I think what we're gonna do is if I can't get them to switch the admin, which this should have been taken care of, I sent everything in, I don't know what in the world's going on, but I resent everything, is we're just gonna, Justin can total up what the taxes are, I can go on the EFTPS site
That was
and
what I-
pay them. Yeah,
Okay.
we already talked about it, because, both of us don't want, so it's not that we
didn't pay them, it's we
Right.
couldn't pay them because
But
they're
it's gotta be
blocking
paid
us.
within 2 weeks of payment.
Use your
right?
speaker, please, Commissioner White, just so we can hear the
So, yeah, so
conversation
we
going
can-
on.
Yeah, so we can go in and pay them, you know, you just need to know the exact amount you're paying, you know, with all those that are
Okay.
deducted.
And Dean, I have just one question regarding the DOJ request and mandate. Is that all municipalities, or is that us because of our JLAC letter from November?
I think it was the second, because I emailed all the clerks and no one's received the second letter, but that's why Mary Lou called me, we talked for quite a while, and some of the others replied, because we did have to state a financial emergency. So unless another city that's in our clerk group has declared that, they're probably not gonna get a second letter.
They're
No one
not gonna
else
get
has
the
got a
DOJ
letter.
mandate to have to do that.
No,
It's just
they
those
just-
that are in
right.
a state of emergency.
Or the financial crisis, they called it some other things.
Yeah, I wish we would stop using financial crisis. It's a financial
I use
emergency.
financial emergency, but I
Yeah.
think it had that word in it.
I mean, I'm sorry, but my interpretation, financial crisis is when you're not paying your bills, and we are paying our bills. We're not reconciling bank statements to be prepared for the next audit, but there's a difference, so.
And Kimley Horn, are you guys gonna be able to be on the meeting tomorrow?
Yes.
We're going round and round, so we'll probably have an update after the attorneys they weren't on the first meeting I had with them. We're just having some things, but they watch, so we'll.
Oh, I'm
address
sure they
that.
want everything now, that they know we're piggybacking
But
on.
they watch our meetings, so just, I'd be careful what you say in the future, just FYI, because
Okay.
that was brought up as well, so. yeah.
Okay,
But anyways, we're working it out, so the attorney will be on the call tomorrow.
okay,
But yes, you are correct, and we don't have it, so I
okay, all right.
that's it.
Anyone else, just for reporting? For those, just before we go into comments, if you saw the town hall meeting and the guest list, this is Wednesday, 6:30, 7:30, light refreshments at the Archer Community Center. And the first order is the biggest part of this, or whatever, it's just recognizing our junior city council. Ms. Hartwell's coming with the teachers, and the parents of these junior city commissioners are invited. They will be just acknowledged and then be able to leave to go do their homework or whatever they need to, so. But then the other guests you see listed here. So it may go over an hour, hopefully not, but that's about 6 minutes per participant, so we'll see how fast it goes. But there are refreshments that'll be available at the beginning of the meeting and through the meeting, so please help yourself and hope to see you there, and please would you post this on the bulletin board as well as you have it on the website now, or we'll get it on the website, and it's on the scrolling board or what it is.
I did notice I forgot that, but I did put it on the.
No, I didn't say that because you forgot it, I just knew it was the
No,
next meeting coming
Well,
up,
I was
and,
trying to remember to do everything before I went on vacation.
yeah. It's
And I
okay.
forgot to sign, but it's there.
Well, and they can only read so much passing by, and then they get confused with all the dates. I mean, it's not like we haven't had 4 or 5 meetings a month, so.
Or they don't see it because it's.
Or they wreck their car and hit a speed bump or whatever. Okay, all right. Anything else? All right. Hope to see y'all there Wednesday. Second comment period? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Lopez?
Yes. I want to clarify one thing. And I want to ask some of the commissioners to please hear me out. Do not interrupt me when I have my 3 minutes and I'm speaking. And I'm telling you right now, because it's not right. When I came up here, I clearly said that I didn't understand Mr. Moses' application, and I still don't, because it's wrong, the way it's written. I have notes here clarifying and saying why it's wrong, which I'm going to give to Deanna tonight because she hadn't had a chance to look at it. So I want you to hear me out. This is not written the way it should be. The receipt, nothing. Yet, people are jumping up and hollering, oh, yeah, and allowing the person who I was talking about to come back up here and interfere with my conversation. And then Vice Mayor Bailey, she jumps up, oh, yeah. I don't think you saw this application, Miss Bailey. I don't think you know what's wrong with it. I don't think you even know that there are mistakes on this because I'm sure you don't look at the applications. I spent $200 to get public records, and I have all the applications. And many, many of them are wrong. Not from recently. And I requested more, and I'm giving her a chance to give it to me. It's been a month or so. So I'm telling you right now, don't interfere with my business anymore while I'm talking on my 3 minutes. And show me some respect, because I deserve it.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. Anyone else?
Hold on, first of all, I did not interrupt you, and I did not. If I said yeah, it was not to you. It might have been in response to whatever was being said, yes. I can't remember what else you said. And I do agree, because when you were interrupted for him to come back, I was like, huh? So I do agree with that, because you should have your 3 minutes, and I was pointing at the amount of time that you have. However, I don't remember the exact conversation. I'll go back, but I wasn't directing
You were
my
rude.
comment to
That's
you.
all I gotta
That's-
say,
That's
as
okay,
usual.
Ms. Lopez. You were rude all the time. Still love you.
Point of order, please.
See my notes, and you can look at this.
Oh, and I do look at the applications. That's what it was. That's okay.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
You'll be okay.
Next person, Ms. Costello. Thank you.
Me too.
Lori Costello, citizen.
Hold on.
I would,
Hold on. I didn't clear her time. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Costello.
I want to know about codes. One particular, and Deanna, you know which one I'm talking about. It was supposed to be cleaned up and everything was supposed to be done in the middle of February. I understand you have Doge now, but I have contacted you about it, but I haven't heard anything back. And then, of course, the neighbor is in code violation too. I would like to get some information why these are not happening. Also, I am also extremely concerned about the profit and loss. This just reminds me of last year where we went a whole year without knowing where we're at. We don't have the money, but we got to know where we're at. If you have to pay somebody to get in here, then you need to do that. Okay, the deferred maintenance equals money. And I'm telling you, we have so much deferred maintenance, it's unreal. The retention ponds, there are trees growing in the retention ponds. The fences are breaking down because the weeds, the trees, the branches are breaking down. All those fences should be cleared. In Holly Hill, there is probably a 30 by 40 group of bushes growing inside the retention pond, and they are just mowing around it. Our retention ponds are horrible, and nobody is doing what they're supposed to do. Doe Run hasn't been maintained in years. There's actual trees in there that shouldn't be. The Christmas lights down at the field, they're hanging from the trees. That's been there since December. They're right in front of the bathrooms. Does Scott go down and open and shut those bathrooms every day? He should see them. Can anybody reach down and pick them up? I don't care what you do with it, but they've been there since December. I mean, some of these things are so minute and ridiculous, it's crazy. Has the part-time position been advertised on the webpage? Because I periodically look at that, because I always know people that want to apply for a job. I like to know that. Also, Mr. Mayor, I have texted you several times to meet. I have never got a response. Are you not getting my texts?
The ones from last week I got, yes, ma'am.
Okay, could you
The
respond?
one from November of 24 I did not respond to, no, ma'am.
Can you
because I was not
respond
available.
to me, and can we set up a meeting?
Certainly. I'll let
Thank
you know
you.
my available schedule. Anything else? Time's up.
Nope, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Yes, sir, Mr. Lewandowski. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Green.
and Green. I just want to say that Watson has a sand mine, and Andrews has a sand mine, and Whitehurst has a sand mine. Every
C&D.
construction site in Alachua County is built with Archer sand. Historically, those were the sand dunes when Florida was underwater, so there's a lot of sand there, and that's a commodity that we have over on this side of the county. And when Levy County builds their big housing development, and all of those people start coming through here trying to get to work, that's when they'll 4-lane 24. It won't be just because of the construction trucks that go through here. And on 170th, they've done a beautiful job of repaving 241 south of the school, and it probably took 500 loads of sand going out there. And so that's why we've had an influx of that. But this is commerce, y'all. This is who pays our taxes and who pays our bills. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lewandowski?
Good evening again. Just wanted to provide a little context to the sand thing. So I had given some testimony on the CUP last year, and I just want to remind you that in front of, on 24, there is a traffic count station, and it's over there by the dump. And there has been an 18.42% increase in all types of truck traffic from 20 to 2023. So that equals 783 average annual daily trips, 783 of all types of trucks. And that's just on 24. If you look at coming up off of up the main road, coming up from Williston, that increase was 126.71%. So we need to take these things into context. And in that light, I have one quick question is, are there any land use applications that are currently being processed? Anything more than just a minor variation, like a fence or something, anything other than that, anything that's, more than somebody wants to put a fence up or a pool or something?
No.
Okay.
No. You make me think. No. We
No,
don't have
okay,
any.
all right, thank
No.
you, okay.
Anyone else? This meeting is adjourned at 7:52 p.m. Thank you all for attending.